Okay, welcome folks. This is Construction 10. We're going to start building our old pine box. And the first thing we need to do is rough cut a 16-inch piece of a 1x6. And then we're going to square that to become the sides and ends. So this is a very important process. It's one of the most important processes we learn in grade 10. And so watch carefully. You can review the video if you miss anything. And once you learn how to do this, you should be able to build almost anything. So first thing, I'm going to measure to 16 inches. Now this is just a rough cut in length. It's a little longer than I need. I'm going to square that with a square. I'm going to put it tight to the fence on my miter saw. I'm going to put my blade on my waist side, not touching the trigger. Get it right where I want it against the line. Make sure my wood's tight to the fence here. Once I have it good, I'm going to use a push stick, bring my blade away from my wood, get it spinning, cut through the wood, and keep the blade down until it stops spinning. Once it stops spinning, you're good to go reach into the danger zone. This piece can go back in the lumber pile. For now, I'll just leave it. And here's my rough board. So now I got to make this thing a perfect rectangle. The next thing I need to do is go to the jointer to make a flat face and a flat edge. When you're using the jointer, make sure you turn on the air. And this will suck away the dust into the back room. Now the first thing I want to do is a flat face or the cupped face. So you'll see this one is cupped. And I'm going to joint that till it's flat. This has a fast spinning blade. We want to keep sleeves and strings away. Danger zone is below here or inside there. If you're inside there, you'll use your push sticks. Now we just want to hold it flat in this case. One pass. I didn't quite get the whole face, so I'm going to go once more. There we go, now I have a perfectly nice flat face. And now I want a flat edge, but I need to use the flat face to make a flat edge. I'm above my danger zone, so I can use my hands. And there, I have a perfectly flat face and a perfectly flat edge. Okay, next tool we go to is the planer. The planer is going to make this thing, this face and this face parallel, and it's also going to plane it to finished thickness. If you look at the plan, the finished thickness is 5/8 of an inch, so I'll plane until I get there. To get it started, we need to be maybe about a 1/4 inch below this little black bit. Make sure the air is on. Just turn the black ring. Get the planer started. About 2 passes and I have it perfectly 5/8 thick. Now I'm good to move on. We want to make sure our pieces are the right thickness. Now I have a flat face, a flat edge, and a flat face. The next thing I need to do is get this last edge to be square, and I'm going to use the table saw to do that. So I'll come over to the table saw, and the table saw is one of the most dangerous tools in the shop. This one's a saw stop, so it's quite safe. And it is used to adjust the width of a board. Okay? So in this case, I want my pieces to be 2 inches wide, which is the middle number. So So I'm going to adjust my table saw to 2 inches perfectly. I need to check my blade height. Make sure my valleys are on top of the wood. The danger zone for this table saw is anywhere inside these miter slots and anywhere inside here. So a big danger zone. If you're inside that danger zone, you'll use push sticks, which are these. So basically in grade 10, you'll always use the push sticks. This is the computer which would tell it to stop if you ever touch the blade. You'd never touch the blade. You just always use push sticks, right? To start it, we'll use this big button and you need to pull it up. Make sure there's no wood touching the blade. We can get it spinning. I want to keep the lumber tight to the fence. And to do that, I'll use my left hand here. And always keep this behind the plastic so I'm pushing at the fence. And I'll push it through. It's important to note I put my flat edge against the fence. And now I have another flat edge. So I'll put it again here. And I have 2 pieces that are perfectly 2 inches wide. They're not cut to length yet, and they're parallel, they're 5/8. And now I'm going to go with the miter saw, make a cut, and then I can cut them to finished length. So, over to the miter saw. I'm good. Basically my ends aren't square because I didn't start with a square board, so I'm just going to barely trim them. Just the very end of the board. To make it perfectly square. And now I have square ends. The final step is to measure these to finished length to get the length of my sides and my ends. And all 4 pieces will come out of these 2 boards. So the length of my ends is 4 5/8. I'll double check. And now I need to make perfect cuts. Here's one end. I'll put my name on it, write that it's an end. Again, my name, write that it's an end. And now I'll measure my sides, which are 8 5/8. Now make sure your cuts are perfect for your length. We really want these things to be as accurate as possible. Now I'm going to put my long side on my left, so I'll look at the other side of the blade. Grade 10s often cut too fast on this. Just cut nice and slow. Here's the side. And it's perfect length, perfect width, and perfect thickness for what I need. So I've made a perfect rectangle through this process. And I have a little bit of waste left. So I have two waste pieces. I have two sides and two ends, and I've squared lumber perfectly. Now I can move on to step 2.